fake boyfriends, staged proposals, hidden affairs. These Real Housewives didn't just manufacture drama for the cameras. They invented entire relationships that never existed. From Kenya Moore's paid actor to Robin Dixon's wedding day cheating scandal, this is what happens when keeping it real means keeping it fake. Kenya Moore joined Real Housewives of Atlanta in Season 5 as a former Miss USA with beauty, ambition, and one major problem: she didn't have a boyfriend. For a show where relationships are central to every storyline, Kenya needed a man fast. So she did what any desperate reality star would do. She hired one. Walter Jackson seemed like the perfect catch when he appeared on RHOA Season 5. Successful businessman, Atlanta native, handsome. But from the very first episode, something felt off. Walter looked bored whenever Kenya spoke. He seemed completely uninterested when she talked about marriage and babies. He barely touched her. The chemistry was non-existent, and viewers noticed immediately. Throughout the season, Kenya pushed Walter about their future. She wanted a ring, she wanted children, she wanted commitment, but Walter gave her nothing but excuses and dead-eyed stares. During the cast trip to Anguilla, Kenya had a complete meltdown over their hotel bathroom quality, and Walter suggested she take her medication. It was uncomfortable to watch because it didn't feel like a real couple having problems. It felt like two people playing roles very badly. Then, in December 2012, everything exploded. Walter called into Atlanta radio station E103's Frank and Wanda morning show and dropped a bomb. His relationship with Kenya Moore was completely fake. They dated for 3 months, almost 3 years before the show. But their on-screen romance was strictly for the cameras. According to Walter, Kenya contacted him in April 2012 after not speaking for over a year. She told him she'd been cast on Real Housewives of Atlanta and asked what he thought about doing reality TV. Then she made her pitch. "What if you play my boyfriend on the show?" Walter consulted with friends, who told him to go for his 15 minutes of fame, so he agreed. Walter emphasized that producers had no idea about the arrangement. "This was me and Kenya's secret," he explained. "I told her, yeah, I can play your boyfriend with no problem. It's like acting." The producers and everybody with the show, they had no idea. It was a private deal between two people trying to manufacture a storyline. The agreement worked fine initially, but then Kenya took it too far. She started pushing the M word and told producers and castmates that she and Walter were talking marriage. She brought up babies and engagement rings on camera. Walter said he didn't sign up for that level of commitment, even fake commitment. When Kenya began pressuring him about starting a family in front of cameras, he had to walk away. Kenya immediately denied Walter's claims. In a statement to Wendy Williams, she said, "Walter's recent statements are completely false. I'm embarrassed that I allowed a deceitful and hateful person in my life." She claimed she'd been humiliated by appearing desperate for a man to marry her who has his own agenda. But Kenya's denial rang hollow, given Walter's specific details and the obvious lack of chemistry viewers had witnessed all season. At the reunion, Andy Cohen asked Kenya directly whether the relationship was faked. Kenya claimed she'd dated Walter before Real Housewives was even a possibility, and when she knew she was moving to Atlanta, she'd started communicating with him more frequently. "I would not waste my time pretending to be in a relationship when I have a worldwide stage to find me a man," she insisted. But the damage was done. Kenya Moore had been exposed as someone willing to completely fabricate a relationship for airtime. The pattern didn't stop with Walter. Kenya's subsequent relationships on RHA also raised eyebrows. Her ex-boyfriend Matt Jordan was featured on the show, but after they broke up, his former personal assistant spilled tea on social media, suggesting their relationship was also manufactured for storylines. Kenya even referenced a mysterious African prince she claimed to be dating, but nobody on set or in the cast ever saw him. According to Walter Jackson's later interviews, Kenya eventually found legitimate love with Mark Daly, whom she married in 2017 and had daughter Brooklyn with in 2018. But that relationship also ended in divorce by 2021, with Kenya admitting Mark was abusive and they'd rushed into marriage. The fake boyfriend scandal from season 5 permanently damaged Kenya's credibility. Even when she had a real relationship, fans questioned whether it was authentic because she'd proven she was willing to lie about something so fundamental. Robin Dixon's relationship with Juan Dixon has been central to Real Housewives of PTOAC since season 1. The couple divorced in 2012, but continued living together and co-parenting their sons. Their journey back to each other was portrayed as a beautiful redemption story, culminating in their remarriage during season 8. The season finale showed Robin and Juan's intimate wedding ceremony. Robin walked into the sunset on a Maryland pier, joyfully waving her bouquet. It was romantic and hopeful, the perfect ending to years of relationship struggle documented on camera. But then the screen went dark. A statement appeared that changed everything. 5 months later, Robin admitted that Juan had been inappropriately communicating with another woman prior to their wedding. The couple claims to have worked through the issue. Viewers were stunned. Throughout the entire season, Robin's castmates had accused Juan of cheating. That was the cause of their original divorce, and rumors swirled that he was still unfaithful. Robin had defended him aggressively every single time, accusing her co-stars of spreading lies and trying to destroy her happiness. But the whole time she knew the accusations were true. She knew Juan was communicating inappropriately with another woman, but she hid it from cameras and castmates while filming her wedding season. She let her friends look like villains for questioning her relationship when they were actually right. The betrayal of audience trust was massive. After the season finished airing, a woman claiming to be the other woman started posting details of an alleged sexual relationship with Juan on TikTok. The posts gained traction, and Robin eventually admitted that her husband had in fact been involved with another woman during the co-pandemic. Despite her repeated denials throughout filming, Robin had known about the affair before season 8 even started. The Dixons still dispute that it was physical, but nobody believes them. What made the situation worse was how Robin finally came clean. Instead of addressing it on the show she's paid handsomely to appear on, she revealed the truth behind a paywall on her Patreon. Fans had to pay to hear Robin admit she'd been lying the entire season. Felt like a slap in the face after months of watching her defend Juan and attack castmates who questioned him. On social media, fans fumed that Robin had not only lied, but actively accused her co-stars of infidelity while covering up her husband's indiscretions. Her castmate, Candiac Dillard Bassett, tweeted an impassioned thread saying, "It tarnishes the integrity of the premise of our show and tap dances on the intelligence of the viewership. Why be open or genuine or authentic when the least of us can rob our viewers of the truth and continually be rewarded for it?" Fans started a firebin campaign demanding Bravo remove her from the show for lying. The scandal highlighted a growing problem in the franchise, where housewives prioritized controlling their image over being authentic. Robin had spent an entire season lying to protect Juan and their wedding storyline, sacrificing the trust that makes reality television work. Throughout season 9, Robin's castmates kept insisting she had a secret boyfriend she was hiding from cameras. Stacey Rush even pulled out her phone and showed photos of Robin on what appeared to be romantic dates with a mystery man. While Robin was lying about Juan's cheating, she may have also been hiding her own relationships. The double standard was infuriating to viewers who'd invested in their redemption story. Lawanda Deepep's lie wasn't about manufacturing a fake relationship. It was about getting caught cheating on her real one. During Real Housewives of New York Season 4, the cast took a trip to St. Bart's. Luan was in a committed relationship with her French boyfriend, Jacques Azul, who viewers had met and loved. But during a night of partying at the Conch nightclub, Luan strayed. She brought a man back to the villa where the housewives were staying. The man looked like Captain Jack Sparrow, complete with long hair and a pirate-like appearance. Luan thought she'd been discreet, sneaking him in late at night while her castmates slept. But the next morning, Luan made a critical mistake that exposed everything. She called the pirate on her French phone to make sure they had their story straight about what happened. But Luan forgot one crucial detail. She was still mic'd up by Bravo. The entire phone conversation was recorded. including Lan coordinating lies with her one-night stand about what they would tell people if asked about the previous night. When the episode aired, Lan was outed in the most humiliating way possible, not by a castmate catching her, not by confession, mas by her own stupidity and forgetting she was wearing a microphone that recorded her plotting to cover up cheating on her boyfriend. The French phone call became one of the most iconic moments in history, showing the former countess's true colors. Luan tried to downplay the incident, but the evidence was literally on tape. She'd cheated on Jacques and then immediately worked to cover it up, proving that even when she thought cameras weren't watching, she was dishonest. The incident contributed to the eventual end of her relationship with Jacques. Luan's reputation never fully recovered from being caught in such an obvious lie. Vicky Gunvalson's involvement in one of the biggest relationship lies in Real Housewives history destroyed her reputation as the OG of the OC. During Real Housewives of Orange County seasons 9 and 10, Vicky's boyfriend Brooks Eyes claimed he was diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Vicky jumped on her boyfriend's bandwagon, insisting she'd seen the paperwork and even gone to the hospital with Brooks for his treatments. Throughout season 10, Vicky defended Brooks against castmates who questioned his diagnosis. The women found inconsistencies in his story. A psychic even said Brooks was lying about cancer. But Vicky stood by her man, showing supposed documentation and describing his suffering in detail. She painted herself and Brooks as victims of cruel women who wouldn't believe someone was actually dying. Then the truth came out. Brooks had never received treatment at the City of Hope Medical Center. After claiming he'd gone there for years, the facility publicly stated he wasn't a patient. Brooks finally admitted to news that all the documents were fabricated. He created fake medical records to support his cancer lie. Brooks claimed he acted alone without Vicky's knowledge, but most of the cast and viewers found it hard to believe that the insurance CEO was led on so easily. During the season 10 reunion, Vicky admitted her gut told her Brooks was faking it. She claimed she was duped just like fans, but the timeline didn't support her innocence. Vicky had access to Brooks' supposed medical records. She went to alleged appointments with him. She defended him against multiple people questioning obvious inconsistencies. Either she was willfully blind or she was complicit in the lie. Neither option looked good. The cancer lie became known as one of the most disgusting storylines in franchise history. And Vicky's legacy was permanently tainted by her association with it. The fact that Vicky spent 2 full seasons defending Brooks' fake cancer diagnosis while he was using it to gain sympathy and manipulate situations showed incredibly poor judgment at best and active participation in fraud at worst. Cancer survivors and their families were outraged that someone would fake such a serious disease for reality television drama. These 4 cases represent a larger problem plaguing the Real Housewives franchise. As shows have continued for multiple seasons, housewives feel increasing pressure to deliver interesting storylines to keep their jobs. Relationships are the easiest way to generate drama. A new boyfriend brings new scenes, new conflicts, and new reasons to stay relevant. But when real relationships don't cooperate with production schedules, some housewives manufacture them. Kenya needed a boyfriend to compete with castmates' relationship storylines, so she hired Walter. Robin wanted to show marital redemption, so she hid Juan's affair during her wedding season. Luan wanted to maintain her perfect relationship image, so she covered up cheating until microphones caught her. Vicky wanted to defend her boyfriend, so she supported his cancer lie, even when evidence proved it was fake. Former Rise star Heather Thompson has spoken publicly about how storylines are often staged and fake. She specifically called out Sonia Morgan's engagement to Harry Dubin during season 12 as completely staged and totally fake. It was a ring that Ramona was wearing, and she took it off and gave it to Harry to pretend that it was his. The authenticity is missing. Thompson explained the women were self-producing and many storylines were forced and contrived. Carol Radswell also admitted that her friendship with Tinsley Mortimer was enhanced for cameras. Tinsley and I weren't really clicking. Radswell said on Jenny McCarthy's radio show, "We were on the show together. No one wanted to film with her that much. I had fixed her up with this guy I knew, so it was an easy way to do scenes together. When cast members openly admit they fake relationships and storylines just to have something to film, it destroys viewer trust in everything they're watching. The problem extends beyond individual housewives to the production system itself. Bethany Frankel estimated that about 75% of franchise stars are living beyond their means, faking wealth they don't have. If they're faking financial status, why wouldn't they fake relationships? The entire premise of Real becomes questionable when so much is manufactured. Some cities handle this better than others. Real Housewives of New Jersey focuses on genuine strained relationships between family members and longtime friends who authentically care about each other even when fighting. Those shows work because the foundation is real, even if specific scenes are staged for cameras. But franchises like Atlanta, PTOAC, and Beverly Hills have suffered from authenticity crises where fans feel manipulated by obviously fake storylines. When Robin hid Juan's affair for an entire season, viewers felt betrayed. When Kenya admitted she basically auditioned for the show by creating a fake boyfriend storyline, and it raised questions about everything else she'd done on camera. When Vicky defended fake cancer for 2 seasons, it showed how far someone will go to maintain a storyline. The solution isn't to accept that reality television is fake and stop caring. The solution is for Bravo to enforce consequences when housewives are caught manufacturing relationships and storylines. Kenya should have been fired after Walter exposed their arrangement. Robin should have faced serious consequences for lying about Juan's affair. Vicky was demoted after the cancer scandal, but allowed to return, sending the message that even the most disgusting lies are eventually forgiven. Until Bravo draws clear lines about what's acceptable versus what's fraud, housewives will continue lying about relationships because the reward outweighs the risk. A juicy storyline keeps you employed and raises your salary. Getting caught in a lie generates headlines and attention. Either way, you stay relevant. That calculation makes lying a smart career move rather than a fireable offense. From Kenya's paid actor to Robin's hidden affair, these housewives prove that reality TV relationships are often anything but real. They lied to producers, castmates, and fans manufacturing storylines to keep their jobs. The cameras may always be rolling, but that doesn't mean they're capturing truth. Thanks for watching.